Hi guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the PS2 Collector, episode 48, and we are slowly approaching now 50 episodes. We're nearly there. But on this episode today, I picked up yet another 5 games. 5 games from 5 different genres, and one game I found quite unique. Let's see what we got this time. Guys, let's begin. The first game of this video, game number 324, developed by Silicon Dreams, and that is the UEFA Champions League season 2001 and 2002. So this game is based on one of the greatest tournaments of all time. In the year 2001 and 2002, Real Madrid defeated Bayer Leverkusen in the European Cup final 2-1, and Zidane scored one of the greatest goals ever scored in a European Cup final. So this game had a lot to live up to. Did it live up to the Champions League? Unfortunately, it did not, because when it came to footy games on the PS2, FIFA and PES were miles ahead. The only reason why people bought this game was because of the UEFA Champions League license. Again, it had all the best teams. It had Real Madrid, it had AC Milan, Juventus, Inter, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, all the greats of European football at the time in one competition. But the gameplay let it down big time because there was a lot of delay in the passes, the controls felt a bit unresponsive. It wasn't a great experience. But if you're a footy fan like myself, there's always reason to buy a football game on the PS2, especially if they have the Champions League license. But again, in my opinion, it's nowhere near the top 2, which is EA and Konami when it came into footy game development. But it is what it is, and that is game number 324, the UEFA Champions League 2001 and 2002. So on to the next game, game number 925, and I gotta say, this game's graphics is severely outdated, and that is Dodgeball for the PS2. So if you look at 2005 when this game came out, look at the games that came out. You're talking about Burnout Revenge, you're looking at Tekken 5, you're looking at FIFA, you're looking at Street Fighter, Urban Reign. These games' graphics were absolutely amazing for their time, and you got this game here, Dodgeball, with the best hardware that was the PS2 at the time, and you create this. Now that is a red flag. I know it's a budget title, but you got to be with the times. It was not 1995, it's 2005, and this game looked like it was from the 90s, and I've got to say, it's not fun. In my opinion, it looked like bare bone to the minimum, and there's no fun to be had. I've got to keep it real, people. You've got to use the PS2 hardware to its full potential, and you're creating 2D SNES games at the time. Not to criticize them, I know there's fans out there who do enjoy 2D games, but if you're creating a sports game, especially a dodgeball game, you've got to make it 3D. You can't make it 2-dimensional. It doesn't make sense, and that's my personal opinion. If you want to argue that, leave in the comments below. But again, for the time, they should have done better. And guys, that's game number 325, Dodgeball for the PS2. On to the next game, game number 326, and this game back in the day was very popular, and that is Worms 3D. This game I played about nearly 21 years ago. I've got to say, this game was a huge blast playing. As far as I remember, this might have been the first 3D Worms game that I ever played. Back in the day on the PC, it was always on 2D. But this game, there's loads of tactical elements that you might have to use, because your job is, the objective is to destroy your opposition, and you have so many weapons in your arsenal, so you must use your tactics and IQ for the best way to take out the opposition, because the opposition is sometimes are positioned awkwardly, and you must time your shots and angle your shots to take out the enemy. And I've got to say, Worms has always been fun. If I had to nitpick, the camera in this game is questionable because it's very hard to control, and sometimes the game's music does buffer a bit, but that might be my CD or my game. But other than that, this game has always been fun to play. And if you've not played Worms before, trust me, try it. It is continuous hours of fun. And let me tell you, so many broken controllers because of this game. If you play 2-player, it is fun. Anyways guys, if you've not played Worms before, give it a go. A huge blast to play. And that is game number 326. So on to the next game, game number 327, and this game I've never heard of before, but the front cover caught my attention, and that is Fur Fighters Vigo's Revenge. Never played this game until this week. I know it came out very early in the PS2's life cycle. It came out in 2001, but the front cover, it is iconic. Look at that, that is one pissed off bear, let me tell you. Right, my first impressions were this game, if you're playing 2-player, a huge blast to play. I was playing with my brother the other day, I'm thinking this game is fun. But if you're playing single player, it tends to get boring really quick. The story is not that great. This game, as far as I did my research, was an updated version of the Dreamcast release. So this game was a huge improvement on that because it has voice acting, it has cel-shaded graphics, and it brought the game into the way it should have been in the first place. But for me, this game looks good and fun to play, but it requires patience, and that's my perception of this game. And guys, if you have played Fur Fighters, let me know, is it a game worth playing to its fullest potential, or is it a 2-player game? Decide in the comments below. Anyways guys, that's game number 327, Fur Fighters Vigo's Revenge. So on to the final game of this video, and I've got to say this game is very unique, and that is A-Train 6 on the PS2. So this game is a train simulation game where you have to create your own city, your own railway lines, and there's a huge depth in detail in this game. You must control your finances, your business management, how to make sure your railways are running very efficiently. But this game has a huge in-depth detail about that. Is it my cup of tea? No, but I know a lot of people who are very enthusiastic about trains. If you want to know what it takes, especially back in 2005, to run an efficient railway organization, this game is definitely for you. There is a bit of fun to be had. It gives you an insight on how to create the best efficiently run city with railways. And I've got to say, you've got to commend the developers. You can tell spent a huge amount of resources to make this game feel as authentic as possible. This game is really popular in Japan because in Japan railways are very popular, and in the UK we are known for our railway lines. They're not as great as they used to be, but they're still part of British culture. And guys, if you've not played this game before, if you do enjoy trains and train simulation games, this game is a must buy, let me tell you. And that is game number 328, the unique but very well designed A-Train 6. Right guys, that's the final game of this video, and we are nearly 2 episodes towards the 50th episode. Think about it guys, we are approaching 50 episodes. We have taken down 328 games after 4,376. And guys, leave in the comments below, how long is it gonna take to get them all? For me, I'm gonna try to do it as fast as possible, but it is gonna take time, and especially hunting the ones that are very rare are gonna be very tough. Guys, if you not like this video, please do, as it helps out the channel a lot. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Take care.